to get another officer here to explain to you?
No, I
They
don't
came
want,
here the last time.
no, I don't want to hear from an officer. I don't give a rat's ass about officers.
Ooh, that's such a nice thing.
No, it's not.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, it's not nice that they got away with.
Oh, don't get me started with that. I don't want to hear about that part.
Don't start me. Don't
No,
start
you're
me.
on private property right
Listen,
now.
bottom line, you don't want no shit, won't be nothing.
Listen, you're on private property. You're part of the protest, as everybody else is doing. You see how kind they are? See how nice they are? They follow up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And so what were we saying?
Okay, right? You want to do this? Okay, now we're going to get it.
Okay.
Do me a favor, lobby. Do me a favor, call 911. Tell them I have an issue here. It's a protest. We have a couple people disregarding what the procedures are.
No.
Thank you.
This is a sidewalk.
No, this is part ownership here. That is the city sidewalk. You have whatever. You want to be wrong? You're going to be embarrassed about it in 2 minutes. Don't worry about it. What's that? The line's right where your foot is. That is
This line.
That's the city line.
This
This is
Brazil.
private property.
And this
Oh,
where
it's so interesting.
you got a lot of people walking across the
And
property.
also, you cannot block the egress of people walking back and forth.
The people's concrete.
The people's concrete.
Indigenous land. Protect indigenous land.
Protect indigenous land! Protect indigenous land! Protect indigenous land! Protect the lungs of the world! Protect the lungs of the world! The people gonna rise like the water. Gonna stop this crisis now. And hear the voice of my great granddaughter saying, put those fires out now. Good morning, good morning, good morning, bon dia, bon dia. My name is Johanna. I am from the island of Borique, Puerto Rico. I call her Borique because that's the indigenous name from my ancestors. And I'm here just answering a call. I'm hurting, everybody's hurting. This is, yeah, it's a crisis. And we've been in this crisis for a long time, and I'm glad that now through social media or whatever, people are waking up, and maybe this had to happen so that we all wake up, right? And just to honor the sacred ways of the indigenous people, especially the ones we are sort of picketing for and being aware of. I like to just maybe start with like a prayer. You know, there's nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with anything but just the divine guidance that we need in our hearts to pull ourselves together and find the answers so that we can have the actions in a good way. Because anger and fear and all those negative energies really feed the monster in the other side that we are trying to fight. So if we join that with anger and fear, we're feeding that. And so we want to stand by love and justice and dignity, but with love in our hearts. You know, we show up with love. It doesn't make us weak, it makes us stronger. So maybe we might want to lead a prayer since you've done it in the groups before. Is that okay? Yeah. I have sage. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being open. I'm not leading this, but I really felt called. That's why we were burning the sage and just trying to bring that sacred, you know, sort of respectful part from, at least from what I experienced, to this movement, to this action that we're taking today. So thank you so much for being open.
So I'm not leading this either, and I would just recommend that we prioritize the voices of Brazilians, folks of color, people from marginalized communities. So I'm going to shut up, except the last thing I'm going to say is that this reminds me so much of the Gulf oil spill, which was just painful every day for months. So I'm glad everybody's here.
Thank you. So if you want to gather closer and just like, you know, not to disrupt the walkway so that we can do this peacefully and smart.
Oh, but do you want this phone, like
What?
Do you want it to be photographed? Do you think it's okay?
So can we, whatever, it's fine. It's good, it's a message, so.
Well, first I want to ask if there's any elders here that would do this part, because actually, for me, I think it should be an elder that leads it. But if not, I'd be more than happy to. But just want to know if there's any like indigenous elders here. So I'm just gonna say a prayer with my sister, everyone here from this way in to that way out, for the 4 directions, 7 directions too, and I'm just gonna do this in my head, this part, but like we can all pray together, just so that we feel like loved and like taken care of in this space, because like Johanna said, like we feel like angry sometimes about this, so just to set that energy in the right way. So north. Mother Earth. Close. Mother Earth to Father Sky to the east. So I want to just say a few words about you know, who we're doing this for. Really is for the future generations. So I want to like also recognize that this is the Lenape land and acknowledge those ancestors that were here before and those that were going to come after us that will continue to take care of this land. And you know, they say like we're all the 7th generation, so I really want to call in the last 7 generations and the next 7 generations. Oh, smoke is getting in this thing. And I was reading today on. Thank you, John. Yeah. I would just like to share one more thing. Also like when we use like medicines like sage or like cedar, like just it's good to like take your arms out and receive that blessing. And it's not coming from me. I'm not like leading this at all. It's just the medicine. So she just asked me to hold it up. But really, we were all praying together, and this is what's doing the work. It's not anyone else. Yeah, I was reading today that one of the like David Koch, like he died today, right? So I was thinking like, wow, like this is why we like do this, like so that the new generations, you know, the intent is for them to lead and to coexist in a better future, in a better world. And you know, it just reminded me that it's all moving forward. It's just constantly changing. Every day is another change. So we can't lose hope because there's always tomorrow, and really it's all about the future. Like what we see today, maybe it's not going to change that much, but what we're doing it for is for our grandchildren. So I just want to say those few words, and also if anyone else would like to say a prayer or a few words during this time, I think this time would be good. I also want to point out that we should, like as she mentioned, I don't know if anyone, we should center like Indigenous folk and Black folk in these spaces, especially when they're about Indigenous rights and about Mother Earth. Because even though Indigenous people do some of the least, they affect negatively Mother Earth, the least they're affected the most. So I think this is really the prime time to hear what they have to say, because that knowledge is something that's really, really precious and sacred. So I want to center those voices first. And thank you.
I'm half Brazilian. Yes. And so it's very difficult. I used to go there a lot when I was a child, so it's very difficult hearing calls from my grandmother saying it's hard watching my home like blow up in flames. It's really difficult, especially as she travels a lot, and going there year after year, you can see how it gets worse and worse. Yes, it's still very corrupt, and it's really difficult watching Bolsonaro just allow and encourage these things to happen to the Amazon. Not only is it the largest rainforest, but it's also a huge beacon in the world, and it's so unfortunate that this is happening. And usually I try to involve myself in as many climate strikes as possible to make the message known, but it feels different coming from a place that feels like my second home. So I'm very grateful that this group is here today in front of the Brazilian consulate, just supporting the message and fighting against Bolsonaro. It means a lot.
These posters were created by young girls staying at the detention centers. They are from many different indigenous tribes of Central America. And currently they're being held in Dobbs Ferry, New York. For just being indigenous, pretty much. So they say they're written in Spanish. Many of them. Spanish is actually their second language. And speak many different Mayan. And other indigenous dialects.
Number 1. No cutting trees. Number 2. Do not kill animals nor mistreat them. Okay. Number 3. Not to contaminate rivers. Lakes. Or oceans. Or waterfalls. Number 4. Do not burn garbage. Which contaminates the air. Number 5. The right to plant. Or harvest. Number 6. The right to the freedom of animals. Number 7. The duty to not throw garbage in the streets. Number 8. The right to plant trees and plants. Number 9. The right for families to adopt animals. Number 10. The right to have love for Mother Nature. And then whoever wrote it put flower, rose, butterfly. What? And moon. Thank you.
10 rights of Mother Earth. Dispose your garbage in its right place. Take care of the woods. Don't hurt trees.
If you cut trees,
If you cut trees, you plant another one in its place. Take care of animals that are in danger of extinction. Do not contaminate the water. Reduce use of fire. Get rid of fabrics that contaminate.
factories.
Factories. I'm sorry. Factories that contaminate the environment. Do not use contaminating chemicals. Protect the forest and the sea life.
Flora and the fauna.
Floral, yes.
Yes.
So these girls wrote this before the Amazon fire, before this was even happening.
Roses before the earth is on fire with
Sorry, I just can't. But you guys get the point. But it really goes to show us.
It really goes to show us
why we're all here.
why we're all here.
Because Mother Earth is connected to each one of us all the time.
Because Mother Earth is connected to each one of us all the time.
And it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter
where we're from.
where we're from.
Or where we're going.
Or where we're going.
Or where we come from.
Or where we come from.
She loves us.
She loves us.
And we have the right to love her too.
And we have the right to love her too.
And the responsibility.
And the responsibility.
And the responsibility.